thanks for your amazing speech, Andrea. So I just have a few questions which I think a lot of people will be wondering. And the first one was, where can people find the information about the class actions and the templates to give to their employers?
So, as you know, Joanne, today really was an introductory lesson or legal lecture on what's going on with the state of play in relation to the legislation and some case law. But really, the hard work starts now. So that means being connected with great organisations that are already out there doing wonderful work. So Advocate Me, human rights advocates, concerned lawyers, AFL solicitors, they've all got templates online that you can look at. But the thing with templates is, if they're not specifically responding to your employer, to your certain set of circumstances and employment matter, then it's really difficult for your employer to navigate that or respond to, right? So really, we need people to join these specific industry groups on Telegram, get connected with the information they're putting out about class actions, about where they're meeting, they're doing Zoom calls, but also we need to create industry-specific templates and responses, okay? Because the more specific we can be with employers, the better outcome we will have.
Sure, so there's more to come.
There has to be,
yes.
Right? Absolutely.
Another question I have is actually in regards to the WA Public Health Act. So I've read the entire Act, and I think that most people know of Section 158. I feel like a lot of things were overlooked, and there are many disturbing elements to that entire Act. Specifically, the thing that struck me was the part of allowing them to be able to take test samples from someone's body without consent.
That's right.
So where would that, when it comes down to interpretation, and imagining we get a dictator even more nefarious than Mark McGowan, if that's possible,
it is.
Where could that draw the line with what size body part they might decide to remove?
So, as you know, the Public Health Act here in Western Australia was passed in 2016 under a Liberal government. So, once law is passed, it's actually really difficult to unpass it, right? To amend it, to change it. So, in 2016, no one was really paying attention, particularly to Section 158. Section 158 is specific. It talks about persons who are authorised health officers, right? And that legal definition is quite broad as well. So it could be a copper, it could be a health worker, it could be anyone who the health minister says you're deemed an officer, right? So that's our first hurdle. Who do we know who are officers? Second hurdle is, what is their role? Well, this Section 158 actually specifies that yes, even while you're in hospital undergoing a separate, totally different medical procedure, they can inject you, they can do experiments on you. Ostensibly, that's what it is, right? Medical experiments. So this is extremely concerning, but again, number one, this hasn't occurred yet. So until and unless this is actually done to someone, we can't actually push back at the moment and say this is not okay, this is a violation of our human rights. But as we know, that's too late, right? So how do we amend the law? We need to lobby. We need to meet with our health minister, Roger Cook, and say to him, we're not okay with this section, we want to amend it now. Unfortunately, that's extremely difficult in between elections because the health minister can literally ignore your pleas for help for another 3 years until he needs to get re-elected.
So it's a simpler thing to amend a specific section and not the entire Act, effectively.
It is extremely difficult to get any part of the Act amended, but if we can get consumer pressure on this, so if constituents all get together, we've got a petition, we all lobby and rally around this one issue to get it amended here in Western Australia because it's specific to us, then I hope that we can make an effect and a change, absolutely.